rips. What's up everybody, and welcome to the channel. In today's video, I've made my way to SOHO Motorsports. I've known these guys for many years. They specialize in Nissan and Infiniti tuning. They even tuned my old Supra. They've worked on my GTR and both of my 370Zs. Today, I'm gonna drive their new 2023 Nissan Z Performance, which has quite a few mods. Now, I've had the awesome opportunity to drive about 3 different Nissan Zs. I've had them as press cars, and they're fun cars for sure. Of course, I ended up buying a Supra instead. But for about a $6,000 price difference, you can get into the Nissan Z Performance. Might not get all the luxuries and technology, but you still get a pretty good base. This one makes 530 wheel horsepower and wheel torque, full bolt-ons, E85. We have a set of lowering springs, and their car is kind of built for drag racing. They are running some pretty crazy times on the strip. And then this one does have upgraded clutch and a few other supporting mods. But check out SOHO Motorsports if you own a Nissan or an Infiniti, especially a Z, a GTR, or anything like that. They specialize in these cars and they do an amazing job. So one quick look at it. Obviously those wheels are pretty wild looking for the drag racing and everything. And this is of course a manual transmission. This is gonna be really cool to see. I've been around the stock ones like I've said, but now one with the parts, with the mods. Let's see, was I wrong about these? Is this really a fantastic base? I think overall it's gonna be an amazing car. I'm excited to drive it. I still do like the Zs deep down, and whenever the Nismo comes out, I definitely wanna buy one. But let's see what a modified Nissan Z is all about. Now this does have like solid bushings and stuff, so you might hear some chatter to it. Definitely sounds a lot better than a normal stock Z. So we're just gonna slowly drive the car, let it get warmed up. Now, if you're new to the channel, like I said, I've had 3 different Zs as press cars. I was gonna be buying one, it just took forever, and then my manual Supra popped up, and it just felt like it was a better fit for my taste. But with that said, though, the Z is still a really cool sports car. In today's market of boring EVs, this is so much different already just slowly driving than in the stock ones that I've been able to drive. But we still have the typical car with all the normal things you would expect. And we're slowly getting those temperatures up, but I can just barely feel some power as I get this thing warmed up and ready to go. That sounds good. This also has SOHO's own exhaust system. They do develop their own parts, which is pretty cool. And like I said, this is more of a drag car, but we still should be able to hook nicely and steer pretty well as well. Once you get above 3,000, that's where you can start feeling like the smoothness of the power just start taking off. Stock, these are making 400 horsepower. They put around 380 to the wheels. So this one is a significantly quicker version than what a stock one is gonna be. That sounds so meaty. It almost sounds like a V8 the way it grunts. Man. Already there is so much more drama than in a bone stock Z. And on these springs, it rides, I'd say, a little bit more hunkered down feeling than it did in the stock form. Coilovers would really dial it up though, but obviously for what they're doing with drag racing and things like that, it's a really good setup. Man, I can already feel that power coming. All right, on to take 2 now, getting up to some speed. Wow, short shifting, that's up to 60 without even thinking. The shifter too, I'm not sure exactly what they did, but this is so much tighter and notchy than the stock setup. A little hard to find the gear. Gosh, this rips. Wow. The power delivery is so smooth too. And being the twin turbo, there's still a little bit of that lag, but once you get to like 4,000, it just starts taking off. Gosh, follow SOHO Motorsports. They do have a lot of like drag racing videos, things like that, with the times they're working towards. Wow, this thing is a riot. And the tuning and mods so wake up the car to where this is kind of like a bare bones just toy to really rip with and to modify. Gosh. That engine's pretty strong, not gonna lie. Now we've seen these cars make obviously pretty good power, as this one is. Wow. The sound the car makes is so unique as well. It literally sounds like a V8, but with turbos. That is insane. I was not expecting it to sound like this. Man. Wow. I feel like the Nissan Z is that good base to where if you're torn between this or a Supra, you know, this is going to save you that $6,000. And for $6,000, you know, you can do full bolt-ons, tuning, suspension. And if you're not interested in obviously the extra luxuries, refinements, you know, the bucket style seats that a Supra is going to give you, this has the platform to just give you the fun factor and the modification potential to stay under $60,000. Wow. This car rips. It is a whole different animal. Gosh. Man, I would be very curious. I'm starting to get more interested in a base model because that's $40,000. Imagine putting 20 grand into a base model Z. I mean, you can just go crazy with it. You don't have really any of the refinements at all, but you're just going to get that motor and the platform to just change out everything factory with something pretty wild. The Z screams that it craves the mods. That's where this car just comes alive. Gosh. Wow. And you know, even stock, these are not slow at all. They are pretty fast. They have that top end where the turbos just kick in. Man, oh man. I really like the shifter too. That's a big step up. That was my one complaint. It felt a little wobbly with the stock configuration. Now this thing just rips. Man, this car breaks some speed limits. I mean, this thing's got some get up and go. There's not really too many twisties to really test out the handling. It definitely is a little bit tighter with the lowering springs than the stock setup. Man, oh man, this thing is pretty wild. Yeah, this just feels like, I don't know, a wild animal you have to tame because the turbos kick in and it just starts going. And because it has that a little bit of turbo lag and then the turbos just nail you, man, it keeps you on your toes the way it drives and everything. Yeah, the Z is definitely a good platform. I know I've gone back and forth from wanting to buy one to then switching to the Supra again, going for that. Man, the things I like about the Z is it is a cost-effective version of the Supra. It is missing several things that a Supra is going to have. You know, these seats are a little bit more basic, not as nice, not as refined, but that's why it's also cost less. But from there, you just have the big engine and the platform to basically swap out all the Nissan stuff for your own and modify it, and you kind of get that $6,000 buffer to play with the car more if you want to stay under 60 grand. The power is definitely there, and you can just feel it wanting to go. And if you did do a set of coilovers and did more of a track setup rather than a drag setup, I'm sure this would still handle pretty good and just be nimble and tossable and a little bit more precise than stock. But this car seems like the power potential is where it's got its claim to fame. This thing can pack pack a punch for sure. Man, oh man. Man. Wow. When the Nismo Z comes out, honestly, I do want to buy one. I've been talking about that ever since, honestly, I filmed the first Z. I said that the Nismo would be more my taste. When the Nismo is out, I think that'll have that extra handling characteristic stock that I really, really like. It'll have the bucket seats that I really, really like. And then you do full bolt-ons, tune it with flex fuel. I mean, you're making some crazy power. And I mean, this thing would just be a blast. Before I get into some trouble, let's bring it back to SOHO. But man, oh man. Yeah, this is something cool. I'm excited to see more of these hit the dealerships. It's been a long waiting game. Even my car, I don't even know if I would have it by now. But this thing definitely has potential. And it's a car where if you leave it stock, I think you're missing out on where the potential can be. Once you modify this car, you get some serious potential. And it becomes a really, really fast car. All right, so back at SOHO after driving their highly modified Nissan Z. Definitely a car that has so much potential. I think in the stock form, that's where it's kind of lacking compared to other cars in the stock form. But when you tune it and you modify it, it wakes up, and this is really just kind of a good base to where it may not have everything out of the gate, but if you modify it, change things up, it wakes up a lot, and really is a pretty fun platform to just modify and make your own. And I've talked a lot about that over the time I've had with the Nissan Zs, that it is just a good base platform to just customize it to your own unique taste, I'd say, and not go too crazy in price point. So Nissan Z, definitely something. When the Nismo comes out, I will get one next to the Supra. That will be a fun duo for sure. But that is gonna wrap it up for testing out a modified Nissan Z. I'm excited to see more and more owners get these, modify them, see what they can do, of course see what they can do alongside a Supra, and just see two really fun sports cars rip it out there. But big shout out to SOHO Motorsports once again. They have awesome, awesome things they do to cars. A lot of the Nissan Z cars, GTRs, Infinities. Check them out if you own any of those cars. They build some wild, fast cars. But check them out, link below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content, and I'll see you all in the next video.